name is Ben McGowan. I'm going to talk about some agencies, federal agencies that need to be done away with. They're in violation of the U.S. Constitution. One of them is the EEOC. Equal Opportunity Employment Commission is preventing people from having the constitutional right to confront people that have violated their rights, and also for the people who have been accused of violating their rights to confront those who have charged them. And in doing so, the agency has delayed the process of what a person is entitled to for sometimes up to 2-3 years. I've been involved in several of those cases myself. And because of that, people say, well, the legal egos in the companies will say, well, you know, if we just settle it or remove this person or we promote this person, that will solve the problem and everybody's happy. Well, the one thing that they keep forgetting is that the one thing you can't give back to a person is integrity. If someone falsely accuses you of discriminating against them, and your agency turns around and says, well, okay, we're going to move that person to another position, you maybe even promote her or him, then it's all settled. But the integrity of that supervisor that made the decision in the first place to make assignments and make her work or him work, then those things are just demolished. The chain of command is broken and the integrity is gone. The fact that we spend millions of dollars a year on a training facility dedicated strictly to training DOD employees, military and civilians, and an academy-like institution on what equal rights are. If people at this age do not understand equal rights, then that's a real serious problem. In the military, EEOC should not even be allowed. It should not be discussed. DOD employees should not be allowed to use EEOC. The reason for it, you have a military chain of command. And that military chain of command goes all the way up to the commander-in-chief. So if a civilian is unhappy with what he's doing, he goes up the civilian's chain of command. Once he hits the top of the civilian chain of command, he can switch over to the military chain of command all the way up through the general's ranks on up to the President of the United States. So there's no use to have EEOC. Now, do you abolish EEOC and turn all these people out on the street and have more unemployment? No, you take these people and you move them into agencies such as Social Security and immigrations. They've got some training, they're valuable, we've invested millions of dollars in the training, so now they can be used to help us with other problems. And people say, well, the courts are going to be overburdened, only for a while, but we need more federal court, then we'll get more federal courts. That's what the Constitution says. And when an agency tells somebody they cannot go to court before they use the EO process, that is a violation of the constitutional rights. I don't care what policy, what act, how they wrote it before, and the law they wrote before, it's not right, and it needs to be corrected. If I'm charged with discrimination, I want to face the person I discriminated against, because if I know I discriminated against them, then I will make it right. If I'm accused of it and I haven't done it, I want to make it right for them and me. I want to make sure they understand that I did not discriminate against them, and they're going to have to pay the price, because they're going to either have to apologize to me or pay for the court cost. EOC has never been right for anybody. The other thing that is wrong for this society is the minimum wage. As long as you have a minimum wage, and then you've got people talking about a livable wage. In San Antonio, Ira doesn't want any companies coming into town that doesn't pay a livable wage, which to them is $17 to $20 an hour, including the county commissioners. But in reality, what you're doing is you're hurting the people in these neighborhoods that are always complaining there's no jobs, but they don't have any training or any education. So if you bring people in that's going to pay minimum wage or a little above minimum wage, you may be providing with an opportunity to say get a job and then move on to better jobs. But as long as you've got EEOC and these silly ass laws, then people can't. A small company may not be able to pay $7.25 an hour to their workers in small towns, small communities, but yet it's supposed to. But again, if you look at the statistics, particularly of EEOC, and see how many fraudulent cases are filed every year, it's going to be up well above 60%, 70%. So I would say do your research on the internet, get those numbers, and make the decision with your congressmen and your senators whether you want to keep EOC or do away with that